Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of The Smoking Room. I am Des, and this time I am only here with.
Sayome.
Here we are, smoking as we do in the room. May I serve you some tea?
Sure.
We are such a refined podcast here. Look at the scenery. I mean, it's the witch's smoking room. It has kind of the word has kind of lost its meaning after 20 something episodes of this, but
Yeah.
we this is supposedly a very refined room where all the most influential witches influential. Anyway, so what is this episode? This episode is basically a rehashing of the analysis of the Tea Party of EP4 that we just did on the book club, because Sayome has some interesting thoughts on this tea party, but unfortunately she wasn't able to be there for the recording, so we said, okay, we'll just do a smoking room whenever we can. So here we are. Yay.
Yay. I'm glad we could do it before we start episode 5, though.
True. Yeah, indeed. So this episode is really just gonna be Sayome giving us her thoughts, but it's gonna be interesting, I promise you. So, first of all, do you want to say anything before we start? I don't know if you want to say anything.
I guess spoilers.
True. Yes. Spoilers for all of Umineko.
Spoilers for all of it.
Yes, thank you very much. So if you like what we do this episode, you could always go check out the book club after this.
True.
So how does the tea party start? The tea party starts with Butler investigating everything that has happened on the island.
Yeah.
After he failed his test, he ran through the whole mansion, screaming and looking for everyone. And then after spending the whole night searching for someone, he found absolutely no one, alive at least. And so the feeling of fear wore out after so much time in fear. And yeah, he ended up reaching the conclusion that he's all alone in this island. Everyone else is dead. And he's just there, waiting for the boat to come, which we know never will.
Yeah, sad.
I mean, it will, but only so many years after this when NJ finally come. Or I guess.
I mean, someone would have to have discovered them.
Yeah, exactly. Some days after the incident, it will.
Yeah.
So is there anything you want to say about this part?
Not really. I just found the whole part of Kanon's body being like confirmed in red witnesses. I think it was a nice like meta narrative thing.
It's the most irrelevant red ever. Even all the other reds, yeah, they are just knocks on the question arcs at least. Basically all the reds are just knocks.
Mm-hmm.
So they are kind of irrelevant if you are playing with knocks already on the question arcs. But if you don't know what knocks is and you don't know it is in effect, the retros do have some weight to them. But then this one literally just says that Kanon was the first in his group to die, which just tells us nothing.
Yeah.
So then after this, we get into the actual battle.
Yeah, he starts with the blue truth that Kinzo is already dead.
So what do you have to say about that?
It's just interesting how Beartor doesn't already like strike down the 18th person by the beginning.
Yeah, she's letting Butler get confident in his theory before fucking killing.
Yeah, it's also kind of like she wants to. Butler after this point like goes to every single corporate, like every single murder, and then tries to do the 18th person thing, right? Or like 19th person.
Yeah.
Technically.
Because so the thing he does is he says Kinzo is dead from the beginning, so that gives him an extra slot to put a known person X there on the island.
But Beatrice like doesn't really refute the Kinzo thing until she's already like bored through all the blue truths and like almost dead.
Yeah. So why do you think that is?
I mean, I think she's already like trying to die already.
Yeah.
Kind of, because she very easily could have like dodged all of them or like refuted all of them.
Mm-hmm. So that argument of Kinzo being already dead and that opening up a slot for somebody else to be on the island doing all these murders, someone who we wouldn't have met through the story, quote unquote kills Beato, because Beato is letting herself be killed because she has lost interest in the game, she has lost interest in making Butler understand her, so she's just letting herself be killed by this false theory. But then, we've discussed this on the book club, Butler doesn't actually kill her. In Mushroom's point of view, it's because, and I kind of slightly agree with it, it's because Butler kind of respects Beato as an opponent and doesn't want to defeat her in this state because he knows Beato can do more than this. And even though he's saying this theory, he probably at this point does suspect it's wrong. So he doesn't want to win like this. It doesn't feel like a victory he won because he was better than Beato. It feels like a victory he won because Beato gave up.
I mean, I think he's taking pity on her because that's what he himself says later. He himself says victory isn't something for her to hand over and that he's gonna take it from her. Like, I feel like he wants revenge for all of the people she killed and all the things she did. He talks about how last time he had pity on him, like in episode 3, where she did the whole strategy of I acknowledge you as a witch and stuff. And he said that he's gonna repay her for this right like now. So he's gonna make them even, he says. Something is also really weird because like when he does all those things, this is like one of the only times he like acknowledges her as the Golden Witch. Like he calls her Golden Witch Beatrice and like my enemy, my Golden Witch. It's like there's some weird kind of tension there. I can't really describe it, but it's
He doesn't call her Golden Witch anywhere else before this. I didn't realize that.
Maybe he does, but like not like this, passionate.
My Golden Witch. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I see it now. Okay, so then Butler successfully makes Beato fight back, and I don't think Beato is really feeling it. I think Beato is putting on a show for Butler because he wouldn't kill her otherwise.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
Mm-hmm.
Because it just really feels like Beato's just so then she's just like, okay, Butler, fine, I'll fight you, for fuck's sake. Just kill me already.
But it also seems like she's kind of maybe a tiny bit happy about it. And I can give you a bit of proof for that.
Oh, because Butler would at least understand that making Kinzo dead at start of every game just to replace him with another character that we don't even know, like just to replace him with unknown culprit X is a bad explanation, and the fact that Butler understands that and wants Beato to cut it down makes her at least a bit happy.
No. It's more like because she wants to die like right before then, right? She wants Butler to just finish her off.
Yes.
With the 18 person.
Mm-hmm.
But then Butler's like, no, I will not. You're my enemy. You're my Golden Witch. And like, when he says my Golden Witch, there's like a single frame like where Beato has like a smiling face with like a tear.
Yeah.
Then she like becomes all like manic, all like smiling, all like happy, like laughing all the time. I think maybe that gave her like maybe not a bit of hope, but a bit of fighting spirit, I guess.
Okay.
And like that she could maybe have more fun with him.
I could see that. Maybe at least a bit of hope that Butler would at least, if she cuts this stupid theory down, hopefully Butler will come up with something better.
Yeah, and then, maybe find out the truth because that's what she wants.
Yeah. So then they start fighting again, and we go through all the episodes except EP4 for some reason, and Butler just gives explanations for all the murders. They aren't very good explanations, but they sure are explanations.
Small bombs.
I don't understand why they don't bring up EP4. They are discussing all the episodes. They discuss EP1, EP2, EP3, and they don't touch upon EP4. It's why? Why?
I mean, it was already stated that like someone else could have had Kinzo's name, so I guess that would explain everything. Because the rest are all just like, showing magic and like... If EP4 only had really like Kinzo's secret, the rest could have all been just done by a human, I think. Because you don't actually...
Yeah, that's true.
Butler doesn't actually see anything weird. He just like hears and like...
That's true.
We just see the magic perspective, but from the human perspective, there isn't much wrong.
Yeah, you have a point. Yes. So what do you have to say about this segment?
I mean, it's just, just like Butler bullshit. It's just... kind of funny. It's like all the traps, all the fucking things that Nox would like break down in like a second. Yeah,
it's kind of crazy that everything in the question arcs just takes so long because Nox isn't in effect. Like you get to the answer arcs and you get Nox and you get Detectives Authority and you get all of these tools and it feels like you had just the question arcs were just playing around.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's something Bern says at the start of EP5 that's kind of just like an eye-opening moment for Butler that everything he's been fighting. It wasn't even a fight. Like the fight starts, like just the fact that he's trying to confirm if the rooms have a secret passageway or something is just such a trivial skirmish to have. Because if it does have a secret passageway, then the mystery isn't even worth your time. So it's the whole thing of the trust between the reader and the writer. So it just, the answer arcs really put the question arcs into perspective. In that it feels like every battle in the question arcs was really trivial. Okay, so let's see. Butler theories. Anything you gotta say about that? I'm not sure what the kind of things you want to discuss are. Is it the mysteries themselves, like the answers Butler gives, or just kind of the way Beato reacts?
No, just like I guess like the kind of subtext and maybe the way Beato behaves, the way she reacts, the way she does things, and then I guess especially also the ending.
Then tell me what are the reactions you wanna?
I mean, we already talked about it earlier, but like this is like I think the first time Butler calls Beatrice his golden witch, which is also like really something.
It's kinda the start of Butler. How can I put this? Butler defending Beato. He's not really defending her here because he's the one attacking, but he's kinda, I don't know, acknowledging her as someone worthy of at least some respect. Because as soon as you start EP5, like the opening chapters of EP5 are all about Bern and Lambda sabotaging the game, and then Butler being like, "What the hell? This was my game with Beato," and he just the change in dynamics makes Butler really defensive of Beato. And that's what, that ends up being the really nice transition of the funny enemies to lovers thing that they got going on. And it kind of starts with that phrase of my golden witch. So what else?
I mean, I already talked about that, like that single frame of her, like smiling and crying a bit after Butler calls him her golden witch. His golden witch, I mean. Then right after she calls him a fool, and I think you can guess why. It's just like she says, "Fool, you're fool," and it's like she's really laughing crazily, and it could also be like, the laughing also kind of feels a bit sad, maybe, because she wants Butler to acknowledge her, to figure out who she is, respect her and everything.
True. You dumbass Butler.
Yeah.
You just acknowledge the existence of a witch. I didn't realize that part, Sayame. That's well noticed. You fucking dumbass. I thought it was just, you fool. You could have killed me, and now you're giving me a second chance. You're a fool.
Also, like, you fool, you're not realizing it's me. Like,
could be.
Because she wants him to find out who she is.
You fool, you made a Kinzo theory that just leads you to an unknown person X when I'm right here and I'm the culprit, you fool. That kind of vibe?
No, like, I want you to find out who I am, like, that I'm Sayo, that, like...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, you fool, you made a theory with an unknown person when I'm right here and I am the killer, the culprit.
Yeah.
Okay. So next.
I think it was right at the start where Dream and Discharger starts playing. It's like, the Rose Garden was all red, and like, but red is the color of passion, and the color of, like, the truth is blue. I think that was really... It's just weird because of how much, like, red Beato uses during all of this. Like, normally you should use the red sparingly, only to, like...
Yeah.
In order to not fuck yourself over, but she just, like, throws it out like it's nothing.
Yeah, because Butler's just very much on the wrong path.
Yeah.
She's just like, man, you're so wrong. I'm gonna give you 2 episodes worth of red truths just on this secret tea party.
It's also... I mean, it can also be seen as passionate from her because, because she's throwing out so many, she could just, like, cut down multiple of just one or something.
Yeah.
Like, for example, just Nox or something, but she just does all of those, like, specific ones.
She's doing a very self-destructive counterattack.
Yeah.
She's just throwing all of these out, kind of on a desperate attempt for Butler to at least understand something, at least get on the right path, but he doesn't. And neither did I. Okay, I'm being very harsh on Butler, but I didn't get it in the Tea Party of EP4 either.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, I kind of did, It's the when Butler's having his tests, and then Beato is just so insistent that I Beatrice didn't exist 6 years ago, yet you have a sin and stuff. I think, at least from what I've seen, it's not that uncommon for people to read that part and think of the promise Butler did to Shannon that we learn about on EP2. But then it just you don't have enough context to understand how that could possibly lead to a murder, so you just disregard it as the sin, even though you may have reached the conclusion that that is the sin. You disregard it because it just doesn't feel feasible. It doesn't feel like the correct answer.
Yeah.
Did you have that too?
I mean, yeah.
So what else do you want to say?
I guess maybe we could go to the ending because that's where most of the things are that I want to talk about. It's like she really wants to just end it all. She doesn't want him to try anymore because it's just like how Butler said, it's just torture. Like they're just torturing each other. But like I feel like the torture is way worse on Beatrice than on Butler because she has to go through all of that again and again and like again and again go through him not knowing anything.
I don't know. I think it's actually what the fuck. It's equally torturous for both of them because Butler just doesn't even know what's going on, and then he learns about Denji, and then he learns about him not being Asumu's child, which apparently has a big toll on him, and he just has to keep fighting, and he just doesn't know what he's fighting. I don't know. It feels pretty bad, and also he doesn't feel as traumatized at this point. But in EP1 and 2, he really felt the deaths as if he was there on the game board.
I guess.
I'd say that's pretty traumatic.
Yeah. I just found one line really great because like Beartor was like crying and like Butler said he believed those tears because they had the light of truth mixed in with them. But that just means like she's bleeding and like her tears are combining with her blood. I just thought that was a really like beautiful line and
yeah, it's flavorful writing, I guess.
Yeah. And then Beatrice is like, I'm going to lay bare my heart. And she's telling him to kill her because she doesn't want to do this anymore because he's a dumbass and doesn't figure it out. And he's like, I will kill you, but only so that you won't be in pain, not so I can go back to Angie. And she's like, thank you.
Yeah, that's kind of sweet of him.
That's probably the one thing she wanted to hear, I guess.
Like, Butler is... That's exactly what Bern says, that Butler goes a bit easy on Beato sometimes. He feels empathetic for his enemies, and that just kind of screws him over, as we saw on EP3. EP3 was kind of like the climax of Butler's empathy being the end of him.
Mm-hmm. And then Beator gets all of her strength and closes both of her hands into fists. And then at those fists, there's a red light that gathers at them. Like, she lifts her arms, like, right next to each other into the air. The red light gets greater and greater. And then one of her arms falls down, but the other arm still, like, is still held up, like, and is still glowing.
Yeah.
Should I tell you what that means?
I mean, I think you've said it multiple times that you think it's a clock, right?
Yeah. It's a clock because, like, both of the arms are, like, what's the English word for, like, the clock? Clock handles. The clock handles would then be, like, almost at midnight, and when the other hand drops down, then it becomes midnight. And that's when the second Beator appears. Like the transparent one.
Wait, what? When the second hand drops?
Yeah, that means it becomes midnight.
Wait, it's midnight when both hands are pointing skywards, but then when one of the arms drops, it's midnight. It's midnight.
No, but then the right arm lost its light, so that means it doesn't count anymore. Or the arm that fell. And then the other arm is just like, because when it's midnight, both of the arms are like at the same position, so it would look like they're the same. So they're one.
Shit. Okay, that makes sense now. Because I've been hearing you telling me this interpretation for the longest time, and I never understood that's what you were trying to say. That actually makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, I like that.
And then, then, like, the transparent Beator appears, which is like the bomb. The blank Beator is like symbolizes the bomb, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Because she herself says, "I will kill you," and it's
Yeah.
the 900 tons of explosives.
There's nobody else on this island, yet I will kill you. Who am I? You are a bomb.
I mean, yeah, that's true. And then she just asks, "Who am I?" And it's just like, and then this beautiful music starts playing, and it's just, I think it's the best scene in all of Umineko.
Really? This is your favorite scene in all of Umineko?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, well,
we watch the scene so often. Like,
I have the very vanilla opinion of end of EP6, so it's interesting that you have. I mean, it's not like I totally understand why this would be your favorite moment, because it's a really nice moment, but it isn't what I'm used to hearing when I ask people what their favorite moment is. So it's interesting that you got this one as your favorite.
I guess it's because of the emotional thing I have with it, because sometimes I just rewatch it and just like go through it again just to see like Beartor again, like how she reacts, like knowing who she is and what she actually wants and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's just really interesting and just sad. Like, it's just really sad. The music doesn't make it better.
The music, yeah.
Like, I'm gonna talk about the song later too, because it's really, really good.
Music theory now, okay.
Yeah, that's.
So what do you have?
Okay, basically, yeah. Okay, first it's about the who am I, because that has so many layers. Because first off, it's just a question like, who am I? Who am I? The one that kills you?
Yeah.
But then also it just means like, it could also mean like, who am I? Like, it could also mean who's the culprit? Like, who's behind all of this? Who am I?
Yeah, what's the difference between that and what you said first?
Because the first one is the bomb, but the second is the actual culprit.
Ah, okay.
Like, she wants him. It's like multiple things at once. She wants him to figure out what the mystery is, like with the bomb. She wants him to figure out who the actual culprit is, and she wants him to figure out like.
Okay, I don't know how she wanted Butler to figure the bomb out. That's one thing I think it's kind of past Butler's ability, because we as readers know that Angie visited the island and there was absolutely nothing there. Butler doesn't know that.
I guess maybe that's why he doesn't even answer or have an answer.
Yeah, I think that's kind of like beyond what Butler can answer right now. Like, if he answered, yes, it was a bomb that killed me, that wouldn't be reasoning. That would be a wild guess that ended up being right. Like, I don't think there's anything that would lead Butler to possibly reasoning out the bomb.
But also, who am I could also be like, Sayo and her constant struggle with trying to figure out who am I.
Who she is. Yeah, Sayo's identity thing. I agree.
I feel like there's like 4 different ways I can interpret just this line, and it's just so amazing.
Oh, what's the fourth then?
I think like the one is the bomb, the second is the culprit, the third is just like Sayo, like Butler wants her to find out it's like Sayo, and then it's like that Sayo is Beatrice, that like she's doing all of this for him, and then there's like who am I, like multiple personalities.
Okay, nice.
And she says it twice too, and the second time is such a beautiful background. And then Beatrice slowly approached me and held me expressionless, and also he slowly holds her head, and then his piece leaves the game board, and that's the ending. And then I cried. Basically, like, Umineko has a lot of parallels to, or like, is very based on Dante's Inferno, right?
Yes.
And in Dante's Inferno, right now I'm gonna show you a manga page from episode 5. Because in the story, Dante, who in Umineko is like portrayed by Butler, has to either ascend to heaven and take Beatrice's hand, or embrace her and fall into hell together. Mm-hmm. And in episode 4, they embrace. Like, Beatrice approached him and they embrace. And then my piece left the game board. That's him falling to hell.
See.
And can I tell you something?
Yes.
The song that plays at the end, like when Beatrice says, "Who am I?" and when Butler and him and her fall to hell, is called Discode.
Discode.
And
okay.
Like,
yeah.
And this is the city. It's like one of the lower levels of hell in Dante's Inferno, like a city there.
Oh my god!
And get this, it's for murderers, suiciders, and what's it called, sodomizers. So like gay people. Yeah. And code, I could figure out in my head what the code part would mean, but then I thought like maybe it could be La Divina Commedia, like co-D, but that's how they would spell it in. Like Divina Commedia. Divina and Commedia, the first 2 letters, and then Co and then D. I don't know.
Could be.
Yeah, it's just a bit silly.
Could also just be code, like an actual code. Like,
Yeah, but
this is a metaphor. This is a code. It's this code. I guess. But
Yeah.
that's really interesting. Of course, it would have to be you coming in with the fucking. Like, it's either the Bible or Dante's Inferno or some shit. You're always the one coming up with these things.
Yeah. Also, can I talk about something else? Because
Yes, I just wanted to mention that thing about Beartor embracing Butler and then they both fall to hell would also be a fun thing to point out about the end of EP8 when they embrace and then Butler falls to the ocean and Butler goes.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah. Well.
And then, like, what do we see right at the end of episode 8 in the question mark? We see Beatrice holding her hand out and then Butler taking
Oh my
it.
god!
And they are ascending to heaven together, to the Golden Land.
You're so right. Holy shit. Damn.
I'm so smart.
She's also holding, like, stretching her hand out in the cover of Umineko Saku, I think.
Yeah.
But damn, that CG at the end of EP8 of the magic ending, right? I believe. I'm not sure. Yeah,
It's at the end of question mark.
You would think that's just a normal CG with Beato stretching her hand, but no, of course it had to be a reference to Dante's Inferno.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. That's nice. It's on screen right now, by the way. Okay, what else?
I wanted to talk about the song, I guess, like also the lyrics a bit of this code. Also, by the way, this code, like the this is like the code part, like the C is big, so it's this and then code together. So it's like it's separated, so it's the city of this and then code.
Okay.
The song is basically just about Sayo. It's just like, please grant my wish, I will offer up my arms and legs. And then just talking about I can't go back. Two of us were meant to meet and have been led to each other even from the moment the universe began. And making even my memories of sadness into a tool to accuse you who rule the present. It's just really... And like the singer does such a great voice and like putting so much emotion into it. Like you can really feel maybe just a hint of anger and like frustration that she has and everything. Like you can just feel the way Beato feels, like how she does when she fights against Butler.
Yeah, if 100 hours of VN wasn't enough for you to understand how Beato feels when she fights Butler, here's the song.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna listen to a bit of this code to remind myself of what song it is, because I don't actually remember.
Oh my god, how could you?
I'm sorry, Simon, I failed you. Okay, it's this one.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about the bio thing with Butler, like when you kill him in the menu.
What episode is this?
Episode 4.
Okay. It says missing. Went to hell embraced by the witch, but to the witch that hell was the golden wand.
Yeah, it's again about like that. It's again like saying that he went to hell embraced by the witch. So it's just Dante's Inferno.
But then, what is hell? Is hell EP5?
I don't think hell is EP5.
Or is it? It's hell because Beato is in a vegetative state and Butler gets depressed because of that. Could that be it?
Could be. I mean, it says to the witch that hell was the golden land. And I can't really wrap my head around that, but it's just a really interesting line.
I don't know, but in EP5 they are in the golden land, so at the start of EP5.
But also, I guess it would make sense because like Sayo was always talking about how once everyone dies, they will go to the golden land together, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like in the Christian interpretation, like she would go to hell because she killed all those people and stuff, and like did all those things. So to her, that her hell would be the golden land, I guess, because she calls that her afterlife.
Every copy of hell is personalized.
Okay. Oh, right. I totally forgot. I want to talk about the bomb because I have something to bring up because I think you've been I've left you quite confused for a while.
It's
now.
gonna be something like, did you know that in the 3rd chapter of Dante's Inferno, Virgil plants a bomb? What is it?
So basically in the manga, like there's like different solutions that Will gives to all of the murders, like way more specific solutions.
While in the VN he says it wasn't 2 illusions, he says something else more specific in the manga?
Yeah, but I mean, the VN version works too. Like, in the VN, he says illusions to illusions. The promise reaper lowers the curtains on the tale regardless of the witch's will. And in the manga, it just says that specter of death is me. I think it works more in the manga version because the aspect of that is me that's referring to the bomb, right? Like that's like the final mystery. Who am I? You're the bomb that like blows everything up.
Well, who says that Spectre of Death is me? Is that Will or Claire?
It's supposed to be just the bomb itself or like Claire itself. Got themselves? I don't know.
Okay.
In the manga, descriptions are all like third person, so it's not really clear, but you know, it's presumed it's from the.
Okay.
Uh,
Is it like that kind of like rectangular speech bubble? You don't actually know who's talking, that kind of thing?
yeah.
Okay.
That line really reminded me of one quote from the creator of the atom bomb. Like, right, he said that quote right after the first two nuclear bombs were set off, and he said, "Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds." And it's like it's just really interesting. It just sounds like really similar to what that means. Both of them like kill a lot of people, you know, and it's like. Just reminded me of that because it's like 900 tons of explosive. There's a big explosion.
Yeah, I mean, to Sayo, the island kind of was her world. So an explosion that size would be like, even though compared to an atom bomb, whatever explosion happened on Rokkenjima pales in comparison. But in regards to the size of what Sayo's world is, that is a very big bomb that essentially destroyed the world she lived in.
Yeah. And like just like the words like I have become death, the destroyer of worlds, and like the promise reaper lowers the curtains, and that specter of death is me. Like, especially the manga line really feels similar to the Oppenheimer quote. That's the guy who made that.
Wait, wasn't it? Okay, history check. Don't laugh at me, but wasn't it Einstein who invented the atomic bomb?
He invented like the theories that would make it possible, but like I think Oppenheimer was like the one that finalized it.
I didn't know that. Okay.
We can research it though later. It's fine.
Okay.
Disclaimer: this may not be true. I don't know.
Atonan right now. He must join the call.
Yeah. I guess there's one last thing I wanted to talk about, but it's a bit random and very silly.
Okay.
Because like the weight of the explosives has been stated, right? Because it's 900 tons of explosives.
Okay. I didn't know it had been stated. Maybe I did. I just didn't remember.
And basically, I just like searched for maybe like explosions of similar sizes. There was one that stood out to me, I guess, because like during the Second World War in like 1943, in the port of Naples, so in Italy, there was a boat with 900 tons of explosives that like exploded, and it's probably just a coincidence, but it just reminded me of very much of Umineko because like
because it's Italian.
yeah, and like all of the explosives, like there were probably some explosives from the Italians, right?
No. I think the explosives were already on Rokkenjima because Rokkenjima was a secret base. So I think if they had to evacuate Rokkenjima, they were to blow up all the evidence with them.
Okay.
Maybe not with them, but like as they left the island. I think I don't actually remember because, as you know, I read the AP7 a long time ago.
I don't think it was stated actually, but I don't know.
Okay.
I guess there was also just like it was also called Catarina Costa, which basically means pure coast, which is interesting. You know, the sea is blue, blah blah blah. It was just a silly thing I wanted to bring up.
Okay. Yeah, I could see it.
Yeah.
Is there more? Was that it?
I think that's it. I don't really have much more to say. I guess we went all over everything.
Okay.
I guess I could talk a bit about that scene and like a bit of its personal impact because like I watched it so much. I think I can like sometimes recite some of the dialogue of the like more interesting scenes.
Okay, prove it. I have the Let's Play open right now. Choose a scene.
The one where Butler is like my enemy, my golden witch.
Okay, yes, I got it. Yeah, you're being put to the test.
Yeah, okay, I mean...
If you fail the test, the island blows up. You got the whole future of all of these people on your hands, Sayome.
Shut the hell up. I mean, I only know like a few lines, like when he says, "Oraka's tate," or
What the fuck? You know it in Japanese?
Okay. Yeah.
That's some next level shit. How do you want me to fact check the Japanese version?
I don't know. Learn Japanese.
Okay, I'm gonna learn Japanese right now. Be right back.
Okay, I know a bit of English. I'll break through you. How could I let you go after all of those things you did to all of my cousins, my siblings, my family? I mean, I don't know word for word, but like, If you show it to me, I can like predict what like they're gonna say
Okay,
a bit. That's just a nice scene.
it's fine. I believe you.
Okay.
I can also recite the EP5, I think, Furude epic trolling segment from memory because I watched it so many times. I know you can too.
Butler song.
So okay, I believe you.
I believe you too.
Anything else? Should we close the episode?
Read Ciconia.
Or don't, because we don't even know if it's gonna come out at all. I think Ryukishi has kind of cornered himself because phase 1 has been out for so long. We all have these theories, and there's this big all-encompassing theories that like are the basis for other theories, because the community has kind of just like agreed that the base theory would be true because there's so much evidence for it, to where if Ryukishi now comes out and phase 2.
Okay, well, I think we're drifting off a bit. We shouldn't spoil Ciconia here.
I'm not gonna spoil it. I'm just gonna say that like we basically have these head canons now because it's been out for so long.
Yeah.
Because then if the next phases come out and the truth ends up being not what we had canon the truth as, it's gonna be kind of disappointing because Ryukishi just took too long to release the rest of the story and everyone got too comfortable with our head canons. I guess. I don't know. Well, anyway. This was a short episode, but we did what we needed to do. There's no need to make the episode longer than it has to be. So, see you in the book club. I hope you enjoy.
You gotta watch it. We're gonna start episode 5 now, so you should watch it.
Yeah, indeed. With that said, I hope you enjoyed the episode. And yeah, see ya.
Bye bye.